Good evening everyone, welcome to another tournament stream. Today we are streaming the very last day of the round robins for the professional tournament on the EU server of the spring season, which is quite a mouthful, but there's no going about it. That is basically what this is all about. So I'll take you straight here. This is the current standing for the EU server, and whereas for Asia we have with the results of could be results of today, there could have been a 5-way tie. For the EU server, the top 4 is actually already known, because even it's EG versus Ray tonight, so that is one thing. But even if Vil wins from Souls and they also get 4 points, they've lost to both EG and Ray, so it doesn't matter what comes out of that competition for the top 4 to change, because basically, like I said, top 4 is known. It is Legion, it is Loka, it is EG, and it is Raid. So basically the games now are more relaxed and more for honor than anything else. So let's focus on that. There is a room. I'm streaming Vil versus Souls tonight. If you want to see Raid versus EG, you have to go to RIP. For Legion versus Immor, you have to go to Every Good Name Is Taken. And Loka versus Appa is on Fugit stream. So nothing can change, but we will still have fun with today's stream and today's games. I will be streaming for at least the minimum amount of time needed for the season coins. Only I'm already seeing that the timer isn't actually working, so that is like very, promising. But we'll see what happens. Maybe they will start when it actually hits 8 PM CEST. So basically, Vil is already completely there. Vil, of course, having come this far, ending at place 5 most likely for the professionals, is actually really good with when you consider the fact that the team hadn't been together all that long yet, and it's sort of like a mixed team of old RTK professionals and some Vil members, and of course they all carry the Vil tag and they've done sublime. I've loved watching their games. And we see, Ryzer taking the 5A. Curious to see what happens with that, because I adore that tank. I really want it. But yeah, there's basically nothing that can change the current top 4. So the games for now are more for honor than anything else. Oh, and the counters have just begun, so that is a good thing. I will stream for at least the minimum amount of time needed to get the maximum amount of rewards. So, we are starting on Dynasty Pearl tonight. That is this map. You have 3 bases. Base A, basically a heavy base. Base B, a super heavy base. And base C, considered the map base. But base D can be cheekily capped by fast tanks as well. Basically anything can happen on this map, but that's kind of like on all maps. You have 7 players that are on a team, they're on voice together and everything. They can go anywhere with any lineup. But overall we do see some super heavy action around base B, and then generally it leads to a brawl on the C area. So that is kind of what I'm expecting this time too. So let's take away the maps that is not blocking your screen. Also, of course, if you don't know this by now, you haven't watched any of the streams so far. But if you want coins and you are from the EU server, go to the portal. My moderators will be posting the link quite often in the chat. And make sure that you are logged in. So Souls is now completely ready with a T22 medium, 3 IS4s and 3 mice. So that's a very heavy lineup with a lot of troll armor. And they're going to go up against 1 IS4, 1 E5, 1 263, 1 Sheridan and 3 113s. So that's an interesting lineup as well. I think that in this case, it is more for honor than for anything else. But basically the teams can relax a little bit, because basically the pressure is off. So yeah, we just need to be a little bit more patient before we actually get our first matches. And we'll have basically fun with it. It will be interesting to see, by the way, if Legion is going to get 7 points, because then they've won every single match in the lineup in the round robins. But of course they are against Immor, so we'll see. Of course, with the top 4, it is not all sunshine and roses. I think that's the saying, at least. It would be in the Netherlands, but yeah. with the way that Raid has managed to make their way into the professionals to begin with, because they basically sacrificed the respect that they had and the integrity that they had to make it here for a professionals that is not even having an offline. So yeah, not sure if that is something you want to do, but hey, their choice. So let's see, 45 seconds left to go before we go into the first match of this only matchup that we have tonight, because it is only round 7 today, and then Thursday the final stages start, and then things get really intense. You get a double elimination and everything, and then the grand finals. Well, basically you have final stage day 1 and day 2 on Thursday and Saturday, and then you have the grand finals on Sunday, and that's going to be cool. 15 seconds left to go. Just a tiny little bit more patience. Hello everyone that is watching, by the way. I'm going to assume most of you will be watching through the portal as you should. And here we go. Just noticed I actually have a seasonal on the showdown on this account. Oof. I haven't played it on this account, to be fair. It's more like there's a silent sign of protest. I do feel that the whole missile should be removed from the game altogether. There you go. And let's go up and away. And we have Veil focusing on the base C side, and we see that Souls is basically doing the same thing, but it will be interesting to see what happens here. Tim Jax is going straight into the base, and he might be able to get away with it if he is careful. The IS-4s are moving in. He is cheekily capping. Veil is now taking positions. They are expecting people to be there. The mice are probably going to go to the city. He has been spotted, but he did cap the base. He just needs to be careful. And now Zerd has been spotted, but he's not actually lost any health crossing over like that. Tim Jax has to be careful. Veil losing HP as they cross over to forwards positions. Not sure what they're doing here. They seem to be going for an early brawl. T22 medium is being the preferred target, but the T22 medium is bouncing quite a few shots here. Wise are not looking too healthy, and he keeps getting tracked, which is also not going to go well for him. And Wise is actually the first tank out already, even though it was Veil making the push. Base C is being capped, and Mo takes a hit for it. Wunderkind not looking too healthy either. Pan Sultan is still alive. There goes Wunderkind. Tim Jax arriving at the back. Mo losing tons of health. Missile hit into Matt Willie. But this game is definitely going for Souls by the looks of it. Mo almost gone. He does take another shot into Gengar before the AV3 takes him out. Zerd not looking too healthy. Yuri almost gone. Especially when he bounces on that one IS-4. That is not going to go well. Yuri taken out. It is 3 versus, well, 6 actually. It is 2 versus 6. And tanks are being destroyed left and right. Kirovets facing off against Gengar. He might be able to take it, but Gengar is now hiding. We have Tim Jax. There you go. But, oof, Tim Jax taking a massive hit there. Firing a missile that does not pan. And there goes Tim Jax. And Kirovets is the last one. Barely alive. He's not going to take this. He does take another bit of damage. But there we go with 8k XP left on Soul's side. Veil has been bloodily massacred. That was nuts. Quick game. 2 minutes 40 seconds. Overall, there isn't that much HP, well, damage difference, but there was still so much HP left on Soul's side because of all those mice. With the mice having this much HP, that is definitely working in their favor. And I'm not quite sure what Veil was doing there, because they were crossing over in an open field with guns aimed at them. They didn't play careful at all. And in just over a minute, we're going to go back into Dynasty Sprawl. And we see a different lineup appearing on Vale side. With 3 113s, 2 215Bs, a Sheridan, and another 215B. Interesting to see what they're going to do with that. Because they will still need to use cover in order to get anything done. And we have Souls that has read up with a T22 medium, 3 IS4s and 3 mice. And it definitely worked for them last time. I'm still not sure. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure why Vale pushed like that. They wanted to get the T22 and it did not work out for them. 30 seconds left to go before we go into the second match of this best of 7. First team to reach 4 victories is the team that is going to get the point for this matchup. Even though it will not... it will change the standing in the professionals, but it will not matter with regards to who goes through to the final stages. So let's see. 3 seconds left to go. Here we go. Vale all pros. Souls taking a snowman and a Terminator Darth Vader love baby. So let's see. Curious where they're gonna go and if they're still gonna focus C. I think they might have thought the mice would go towards base B rather than C. Souls heading towards base C again. Vale doing the same thing except for Tim Jack, who is going towards base A. Or maybe not, he's going to the middle. But not seeing anyone there. Now he's going into base A. The 113 is all heading towards the back. Which could be tricky. They need to be careful there. Because there's not a lot of space for all of them. Base A has now been capped. Heffalump is going into the city. He has spotted Timjacked. And the mice are moving into base C. And oof! That is some nice crossfire. But now... Ooh, Weiser taking tons of damage. And Weiser basically being ganged up on. He's not going to survive for long. And there he goes. First one out. One Mo now getting shot in the rear. We see Wonderkind losing HP. Souls moving in a pack. And Pan, there goes Wonderkind. And they're actually blocking each other's shots here. That is not a good thing. And they will need to take the guns out fast. Because the 113s, yes, they have a nice rate of fire. But they're also very juicy. The 215Bs are arriving. There goes Zerd. Mo is the next in line. Maybe Kirovets even. Timjacked arriving. And they need to take out those tanks and they need to take them out fast. Kirovets still alive, but barely. He's not going to survive another reload, I think. Heffalump moving in. Matt Wheelie taking out Kirovets. Mo still alive, but getting sandwiched and murdered. And now it is 4 versus 2, and again, this is Soul's game. The 113 is just not able to keep up with the IS4s and the mouse, especially not when they rush like that. Chimjack's still alive, but literally barely, having only 61 HP left. And he does not murder himself by jumping down. And he does not manage to kill Matt Wheelie before he gets killed himself. Again, a very, very quick game. Mm, 2 minutes 38 seconds. That is how fast these games are going. So with 2-0 for Souls, we are now moving on to Port Bay. Port Bay looks like this year. 3 bases, 1 in the harbour, 1 in the city square and 1 in the hills. Personally, I much prefer the area around the base C area. But the thing is that you have the issue of needing to dominate 2 bases, and that can be quite tricky. So we'll just have to see and what they do with this and where they're gonna go Usually we see some super heavies around base B, and then the team either goes base A or base C and basically tries to support each other. So that is the map that we are going to. We have just over a minute left. Souls has readied up with 2 mice, 3 IS-4s and 2 140s. And they're going to go up against 4 IS-4s, a Hori, a Sherry and a T-62A. Or maybe an E100, depending on what Elysium is taking. No, he is taking the IS-4, so the lineup does not change. 4 IS-4s, that is a lot. That's a lot of IS-4s. But IS-4 has basically been the main battle tank this season so far, because it can work for pretty much anyone and everyone. 35 seconds left before we go into the third match already. It is only 8:09, and we've already had 2 matches, including the waiting time. That is a little nuts though. So I might be showing you some replays while we wait for the other teams to finish and while we wait for the coins to finish giving out and everything. 10 seconds left to go. Here comes the countdown clock and we are going into the third match. And really, I'm kind of curious what will happen now. Vil does not seem to be, they seem to be out of sorts today. But new map might change things around. And like I said, there's no real pressure yet. Anything can still happen. So let's see what this game brings us. This camo is so pretty. It looks pretty on pretty much anything. It does remind me of the American flag most often. But it is such a nice camo. And very few people have it. So we have Vil going towards base A and B by the looks of it. Potentially C with those IS-4s, but I'm not entirely certain. And we have Souls moving in a clique towards base A. With the fast tank staying more behind. And that could be very, very deadly for Timjacked. But he will have seen the walls fall down. And he's already spotting people, so they know that they're going to be there. He just needs to be very careful not to get absolutely hammered. And now we have Weiser going to the corner. No one's there though. Mo has been spotted. He needs to be very careful. He does land a nice hit, but now he needs to pull back into safety. Vil needs to respond. They are pushing into the city. And they kind of have to. Oof. Timjack's taking a little hit there, but not too much. Zerd taking a hit. Pan Sultan now caught out of position. And we see crossfire happening. Basically everyone is firing at everyone. Big missile hit into Pan Sultan there. And they are abusing the fact that they have to angle towards multiple angles. Mo losing HP. And Zerd is just pushing. Wanting to get Pan Sultan out of the way. They kind of have to because there goes Mo. And that is costing them 1 gun. The AV3 is almost gone though. There he goes. And basically we enter the brawl stage. But there's more Souls guns here than Vil guns. They are now arriving. Gassio not looking too healthy. There he goes. Both teams have lost 2 guns here. And Timjacked is being hit. And again, the focus fire is not quite there here. Timjacked taking another hit. Matt Willie hidden by rocks. But he is still the preferred target. Zerd pushing in. Elysium almost gone. Matt Willie taken out. Elysium is gone. It is 4 versus 4, but HP wise Vil has the advantage. But Zerd is losing HP quite quickly. And they're focusing on a target that is hard to hit. Galaxy. Oof, that did not pan. There goes Zerd. It is 4 versus 3. They need to take those guns out. And Yori is now facing off versus 3 tanks and losing a lot of HP for it very quickly. Velrider not looking too healthy either. There he goes. It is 3 versus 3 again. Galaxy is almost gone, but there goes Yori. And they need to make sure that every shot counts. Timjax crossing up over the back. Weiser now losing HP fast. Big hit to Heffalump. They need to take Galacty out. That did not take Galacty out, and Weiser is now going to be gone. And it will be a Kolobunov situation for Timjax. If he manages to make the kill, he does get the kill, but now he's relatively low on HP himself. And he needs to like run off and try and not get hit. But that is not the easiest case here with a fully aimed IS-4 chasing. Not sure where that missile went, it seemed unaimed. But he has to be careful because now he's going to get killed because he basically stopped moving, he pulled back into the line of fire from Gengar. And that's the third game for Souls, and now the pressure is on because Vil will have to win 4 in a row in order to get the point. Whereas Souls only has to win 1 more. So not entirely certain what is happening here. This is not the Vil we've been seeing. One and a half minute left before we go into the 4th and potential final game of this matchup. All the games have been over really fast. And we'll just have to wait and see. All the games have also not been about the points at all. They've basically been just rushes, and rushes that did not go as well as intended. Let's put it mildly. 1 minute left to go. We see Souls is now taking a T22 medium, 2 E5s, a T62A, 2 113s and a Leo. And they're going to go up against, depending on if they're already up or not. 2 ice, well potentially 3 IS-4s, a 268, a Sheridan and 2 E5s. But basically Vil has to find their mojo again because this is not looking good for them. And yes, for the overall standing it doesn't do much, at least no. For the overall standing it would change much, but it would not change anything about the overall outcome for the finals. It's actually 2 268s, 2 IS-4s, 2 E5s and 1 Sheridan. So I'm kind of curious where they're gonna go with this because, yeah, this is not, like I said, this is not Vil as I know them. It's kind of shocking to see them get hammered like this. Especially since it's more like, I can't think of the English word. But basically it's like chaotic and messy. Messy, that's the word I was looking for. It's messy gameplay. So let's see. And we'll see what they do in this potential final game of the round robins. The final game of the spring season for Vil if they do not win this. We have Yuri and Timjax heading towards base C, where they are likely to meet all of Souls. Timjax is wise to wait there. He's already spotted himself as well. But they will know that Souls is there. And that missile hit the ground and not the tank. And with them all being spotted, they know where Souls is. And they're grabbing base C because of it. Sorry, base A. And they're not grabbing base B for it though. And they're steadily pulling back. And we have Souls making a push. Yuri moving forwards to get a nice spotting situation there. And we see a missile fly. Oh, but he gets hit quite badly. Just for being there. He was not careful there. And Yuri is in a better position, but he is alone. He needs to be careful not to be too forwards. And they are pushing on Yuri. Yuri is the preferred target. Ooh, that bounced though. Elysium moving in. Gengar losing quite some HP. And overall, we are entering a brawl stage, and I want to show you everything, but I cannot. Big hit into Gengar. Gengar will be the first gun out of the way. Zerd's still alive. Yori's still alive. Basically, in this case, they let souls come, and it is working better for them. But they're still losing a lot of HP very fast. They have a one gun advantage now. Wise is almost gone. And Matt Wheaty, there he goes. It is actually Vol Rider that takes him out. 268. Still relocating. Mo in a tricky position. Yori not looking too healthy. And we have Pan Sultan getting behind him. And together with Galaxy they take him out. Pan Sultan is taken out straight after. Galaxy, oof. There goes Tim Jacked. There goes Galaxy. It is 3 versus 3. HP wise it is very close, but Elysium is almost gone. And they need to be careful. Big hit into the AV3. But Mo cannot really do much against 2 on his own. He is still alive, but there he goes. And now it's only Gassio who is facing off against Matt Willie. And bouncing. Versus 3 guns. And the match is gone with a very decisive 4-0 to Souls. And there's just no way. This was pretty much the most brutal beating I've seen this season. And it was just so messy. But well played by Souls for taking it home with a 4-0. That is no easy feat. And yes, very, very fast. And like I said, this is not the Veil that we know. And it's kind of a shame that it went this way. With 4 very quick matches. 4 matches over in 21 minutes with 6 minutes waiting time in between. That is 15 minutes for 4 matches. That is just nuts. Not sure what Veil was doing. They were definitely out of swords. But kudos to Souls for pulling together like that, because they were moving as a pack and that worked literally every single game. Oof. So, basically I have a feeling the rest of the match is not over yet. I'll have a quick look at it. Yeah, this is still going. So I'm just going to play some replays for you guys, and we'll just have to sit it out and see what happens. And I'm actually going to show you a replay from Zerd to show you that they can play differently than how we've seen just now, because oof. So let's see, it is in the replay in the E5. E5, of course, one of my most driven tanks actually. No longer one of my favorite tanks since they removed the Cupola, because it's not been as fun to drive since they removed that. But let's see. Standard B wants to take A and B, whereas Zerd wants to take C, and luckily most of the tanks agree with him. Though there's some confusion, of course, which is always the thing when you have things like this. The M103 is following suit. The E100 not so much. For some reason though, this is a observation of mine, E100s tend to not go with the team and then rage when they die. I'm not sure why. It is nuts to see. Sheridan not happy. And Zerd being very forwards here. But he does land a nice hit. He kind of has to be careful because it's an AMX. It is a clipper. But he has landed 2 shots. Whereas the AMX has landed only 1. And that is a nice bounce. E100 at the back is a bigger threat here. So he has to be careful about that, because that is a giant gun that you don't want aiming at you. Our E100 in the meantime is capping base A. Let's see. Nice tracking shot, and the standard B finishes it off. We have the E100 that is pushing, not paying attention to what is happening behind him at all. Leo PTA wanting to get some shots in. E100 still making it very easy to land those shots. This was seriously one of the weirdest tournament streams I've done, to be fair. And it's actually quite sad. Like I said, View is better than what we saw. But now, focusing on this replay again, it is 3 versus 5. The E100 has now dutifully actually moved into base B. Base C is being kept. The standard B is not going to survive for all that long. And they kind of have to decide whether to move forwards. Nice high roll. E100 is arriving. Also shooting at the standard B. Standard B is gone. E100 coming down quite deliberately. But that is a big giant body to have in front of you. And he kind of has to be more wary of that Sheridan than of the E100. Stubbo, I know you better than that. You're a gent. Don't be like that. Nearly 5k damage into it. He is pulling back. And now the Sheridan is a one-shot. And he does pan that though. And now Zerd is basically a one-shot as well. So he has to be careful. Especially with the team coming, the enemy team coming at him like this. In this case I would be most worried about where the Sheridan is. There he is. That bounced though. Now he has to be more worried about the T-54 again. There he goes. The E100 is actually occupying them, which in this case is very helpful. Oh, that miss! Oh, dude. You don't want that to happen at this stage. When it's this close. But he does get that shot. And now this is a good move. He's using the corpses. Now the E100 moving in, but we're already 1k points because that E100 kept the bases. But I do believe that he would have been able to finish them off even if he hadn't. Kodobanov, 7.1k damage. Oof. Oh god. Andy just said that Legion just used 5 Sheridans. Oh god, I need to watch that. Legion has been absolutely amazing for the meme battles, to be fair. With the donut and everything, which is like a real thing now. It's amazing. So let's see. Do we know the scores yet? No, that is still going. War is happening with Loka. It would help if it actually loaded. Loka took it home versus Appa with 4-0. EG versus Raid. Let's see. 4-1 for EG. So we're basically just waiting for Legion's battles to be over now. And we are still needing at least 6 minutes for the avatar thing. So I will show you at least one more replay. Let's see, what have I got for you? Let's actually go for one of my own peeps. Appa used 7 Sheridans, 5 AMX 50Bs and 7 mice. People are taking today very, very seriously. Oh god. But yeah, interesting choice of tanks all around. And let's see what Bob is going to do here. But the games have been over very fast. I don't think anyone at this stage is taking it seriously. I am still very surprised at the ass whooping that Veil got today. Not necessarily because, I mean, of course Souls are good. They made it to the top 8. But I didn't expect it to be such an ass whooping. Veil is better than what we saw tonight. And of course, yes, they were meme battles. But still, it's a little bit weird. Nice shot there. Cheeky as well. Would be nice if he had that one as well. It is encounter, so he is being a little bit dangerous where he is going now on his own. Without much support. But he can potentially do massive damage from where he is. Especially when they're not focusing him. And think they're safely behind cover. 704 is coming up. And now Blob is using the bush here. There we go. Chieftain is being very polite. Why is it always the people that are like this? Oof, nice double tap. People get so rude in this game. And there's the E1. We see a missile flying. He does get hit by the missile, but he gets a kill in turn. So that's kind of an even trade. He just needs to be careful. We know that the waffle has to be in the corner somewhere. And there you go. He is tuning with Andy. And Blob would like some help. And Andy is coming over to give just that. And they are steadily losing teammates, so that's not a good thing. And they kind of have to be careful about the waffle, who is still out there somewhere. And Blob is actually being too careful here. There's the waffle, he just fired. And now Blob is moving in. And that actually is going to land him another shot. There you go. Andy is... Oof, that fire definitely helps. And we have a base camper on the other side. And it's that waffle now that is basically the main problem. The chieftain has resorted to speaking his symbols and probably being just as toxic as before. Ooh, waffle is moving. Not wanting to be alone here. The mouse is still out there somewhere. In this case, I would be way too impatient. Bob is playing much more carefully than I ever would. But now we know where the mouse is. And the waffle actually killed him off. So now he has until the mouse gets back in order to make it work. Versus the waffle at least. He can afford to take a shot, but he has to be careful. Oof, nice bounce. But he kind of has to both be careful and aggressive at the same time because he needs to take that waffle out. And now the waffle is a one-shot even with AP, so he switches back to that, which is a good call because if you can make sure that you get a kill in with AP or Premo, use that. It is a safer way. Ooh! Oof! That was too close. But now he should have it. He just needs to make certain that that last shot pans. And this is again what I'm... Oof! Oh my god, he still bounced. Oh my god, Bob. There you go. That is insane though. 5.1k damage, Pool's Medal, 1542 base XP. That is nuts. So let's see, do we have a final score yet for Legion vs Immo? Yes, Legion won all of their games. Look at this. Just look at it. Very nicely done. So this is basically the final score that we have. Vil not even trying for a 5th place. They are stuck in 6th place now. Because actually with the points it would be a tiebreaker. But as Souls won from Vil, they are getting the 5th place. And that is the top 4 that we are that we end up with. Where I believe it means that we get Legion versus Raid in the finals as one game and Loka versus EG in the other. It will be interesting to see what is going on there because I don't think anyone took it particularly seriously tonight. And yeah, overall, the games today were not really representative of the clans they were for. Oh my god. But that is the last game of the round robins. I've basically just occupied the time that is needed. If you watch from the beginning, you will have all the rewards now, including the avatar, and definitely including the 15 coins, because there were no more coins to be had. So that is it for me tonight. I'm going to log off. I will be back later on with the NA servers, and we'll see how it goes there. So thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was definitely weird. Very well played by Souls. Like I said, the focus fire and everything, they moved as a pack and it worked, and Vil was just quite literally all over the place and they had their asses handed to them. Overall though, I have to say also that Legion taking it home with a 7-0 in victories is amazing. I don't think we've ever actually seen that happen, because mostly there's always been one game where even the favorite lost some games. But yeah, like Fufu said, is because of the special Kiwi energy they got. Because of course, in case you missed that, Happy Kiwi is like the best cheerleader ever. But yeah, like I said, that is it for me for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay at home. And I will be back in about 6.5 hours with the NA server. So for now, good night. And otherwise, I will see you on Thursday, where I will be streaming all 3 servers as well for the first day of the final stages. So again, good night. Thank you for watching and take care. Bye bye.